What's up, everybody? We're back here at Nerd Talk After Hours. We got a super awesome episode for you this time. This time we're talking Comic-Cons, all the ins and outs, different stories, different aspects on it. It's going to be awesome. So we got 3 special guests this time, so we're going to have a full house. It's going to be packed. Like always, Hobby.
Yes.
What do we got new in the store? I'm excited about a couple of these
some
products. There's some new stuff I've been waiting for.
Go to my store and I'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Just walk into the store and I'll just be like, this is new, this is new. Now, I brought some of the stuff here. Some of the stuff I left at the store because I feel like it should stay there just in case it sells.
Yeah.
So I brought some of the stuff that have like doubles and triples. So yeah, let me show you some cool stuff. Actually, let me talk about a hot item. I only have a few left. It's the Iceman, the Specialty Series exclusive Iceman.
I saw that in the top of the box, and
Yeah.
I think I need to come grab that.
Dude, I have like 3 left of these.
Can I just give you money tonight?
Yeah,
You
we
just
can
take
do
it
that.
back to
Yeah,
the store.
sure.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's one of them. Another one that's an exclusive. I got the Iron Fist Dorbs. All you Dorbs collectors got the Iron Fist.
They're totes of
Yeah.
Dorbs.
What you guys think of the Netflix episode on this one? Iron Fist.
I was thoroughly unimpressed.
Unimpressed?
Yeah.
Unimpressed?
I didn't see it.
You didn't see it?
I didn't see it.
It was
It's-
okay.
It's definitely
It's okay.
my least favorite of the Netflix
Yeah.
superhero things.
But cool
Yeah.
figure. Comic's awesome, so yeah. Alright. And then we're going to get into some more
Little
stuff.
product placement. Red Bull, notice us.
God, I'm thirsty.
Also, Borderlands. We got some new Borderlands. Here's Claptrap.
I love that game
Yeah.
series.
Dude,
It's
so
so
good,
much fun.
The artwork in it is so
I
awesome.
love the cell shading, like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
very like kind of anime without the outlines
Yeah.
kind of thing. I kind of like it.
Yeah, it's well done, well made. I mean, if you're not a Borderland, if you've never played it, try it now. Also buy the pop in my store.
Yeah.
So yeah, Claptrap. Yeah. All right, we got Lilith there too from Borderlands. We actually have the whole collection of them, so I'll just show them down. So there's Lilith.
I love that we have the airheads playing in the background. You can totally see it.
Got Zero, which is Zero's awesome, dude. He's got a gun and a sword.
Yeah, he's a
Okay.
pretty tight
Yeah.
figure. I've seen some awesome cosplays too lately popping up
dude.
on.
He reminds me
on my
of
Instagram feed.
Snake Eyes from
Yeah.
G.I. Joe. Yeah.
So Zero.
Check it out.
Check it out. And then, of course, everyone's favorite, Tiny Tina. So Tiny Tina's in stock. She's actually been the most popular one that I have in the store. So I think I have like 3 left. So 4 left, including this one.
So come in, you get the whole set, right?
Yeah. Get the whole set.
And you're running a deal.
Yeah.
now,
Yeah.
aren't
So
you?
right now I have a deal. It's 3 for $30.
On select pops.
Yeah, and also I'm gonna have a 4th of July sale.
Ooh,
I
definitely.
don't know
check
what
it
I'm
out.
gonna do.
I'm
Will you
off
be
that
open
day.
all of the 4th?
So yes, I will be.
Yep.
Cool, I'll
All
be
the
there.
4th be open. So anybody that's going to be down in the Sparks area checking out the
Screw it. I'll just tell you guys. It's buy 3 get the 4th one free.
Ooh.
Who doesn't love free stuff?
How you gonna have any stock left after? Because I'm
hope
gonna
I
buy. I'm gonna buy at least 8 of them.
Yeah, check it out. So if you're down in the Sparks area, hobby store is in walking distance from where all the stuff's going to be
Yeah,
going down.
right around the corner from Victorian Square. Super easy to find.
Oh yeah. I'll be outside maybe. I don't know.
Yep. So when you're down,
He'll be
getting
washing
yourself
cars.
an In-N-Out burger. When you're getting an In-N-Out burger, you just a couple more steps down the road, and you're right
Not
out of the
far.
store.
Yeah, it's down the street. Bring me an In-N-Out burger. I might hook you up even more.
That's a deal.
Yeah, there's a deal. So yeah, we got the new Series 8 Walking Dead
Now it's
figures.
going to happen when
yeah.
Hobby ends up with 10 burgers.
Blind boxes, so no, we got a bunch of burgers. I'm down. Yeah, but yeah, so the new blind boxes in stock. Pretty awesome, actually.
I like
Seen a
these
few of them.
figures,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I
these
like
figures
that they're
are
in
good.
black and white.
Yeah, I like that too. And
Yeah.
they have the dark like red around them, and the chases are very awesome.
It's very
They're all
very
bloody, too.
reminiscent
Blood
of like
splatter.
the graphic novels.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, all the graphic novels from The Walking Dead were in black and white, and I think part of the reason why they went that way is they couldn't afford the color.
I mean, it's probably easier to only have 3 shades of stuff.
Yeah,
so-
especially when you're running comics, you know.
Yeah.
Now
This
they-
one I'm excited about. This new
Yeah, so
product,
this one,
I've been waiting
Armando
for these to come in for a
has
while.
been giving me shit about these. No, I'm just kidding. Now he wanted to order some more of these, and I sold out. But we have the new build fighters.
Yeah. I have an awesome idea of building
Please share.
building a custom one of these with custom armor,
Oh, cool.
and then doing some dioramas of 2 of them fighting. So that's kind of why I've been waiting to get a
Oh
couple more
yeah,
of
you
these.
can
So.
do your little archangel, huh?
Uh-huh,
Right
uh-huh.
on. Yeah, so we have this one in. It's back in stock. So come on through and show me some love and bring me an In-N-Out burger. No, just kidding. All right, guys, that's it for the new
That's
product.
it for new product. All right, so let's get into it. I'm pretty excited about this one. We've been talking about doing this episode for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
And 'tis the season. San Diego's just around the corner. So let's get into it. So let's introduce our first guest, Josh from the 501st. Come on down, Josh.
Make as much noise as I can. What's going on?
All right, so just tell us a little bit about yourself
Well, I part of the 501st
for the viewers that do not know.
So I'm part of the 501st for the Reno chapter.
How many people are in the Reno chapter?
We're almost at 10 now, but
Oh, wow.
we're part of Central California, so there's well over 100 plus.
Oh,
so
cool.
we kind of do a lot of stuff with them.
Right.
We actually have an event on Saturday up at
plug it.
Pine for the 4th of July parade up there. So there'll be at least 10 to 15 costume characters.
Yeah,
We'll be at
give
the
it to John.
parade.
He's gonna take care of
Plenty
it
of
as
times
well.
to take pictures with Vader and everybody
text
else. So
Okay.
be a lot of fun. A lot of
Right
fun. Oh, and I'm a snow trooper in the desert. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Awesome.
Fun.
Yeah.
Fun stuff.
All right, so let's bring in our next guest. Rio, come on down.
You're right next to me.
I get a corner. I feel special.
So Rio, it's for those of you guys who have been following us for a long time.
Yeah.
Rio was on one of our highest rated
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yes.
episodes, the cosplay
Oh, I
episode.
feel very special now.
And so when we were talking about doing this, I was like, we got to get Rio back because we wanted to get you back for the Disney episode, and it just didn't work out as
I'm
far as
sorry.
scheduling. But I'm glad we finally got you in here.
Yeah.
So Rio, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I've been cosplaying for almost 8 years now.
What's your favorite cosplay you've done?
Right now it is the Jessica Rabbit Poison Ivy mashup I did.
The hair. The hair does it.
It wasn't something that people really thought up before, and then when I thought it up and I put it together, I didn't think I could pull off either, and then I did, and I was like, yes. It was just, it's nice. I
Yeah,
like it.
you definitely got me wondering. Did you basically do Ivy with like the sequence
It was.
top?
It was, I took Jessica's hairstyle, her gloves, her dress, and I put them in Poison Ivy's colors. So green dress, red gloves, bright red aerial hair, and then I hand sewed all the little, those fake Poison Ivy leaves
Yeah.
Yeah.
on the
Cool.
top and the bottom of the dress.
Awesome.
And then I added glitter and sparkled out some shoes, and I could not walk in them on the con floor. So I mean,
Awesome.
that
awesome.
was great.
Lots of stories. Can't wait to get into it. So now our last guest, like we said, this is a packed house. You guys know him. He's a regular here. The man, the myth, the legend, Pat.
Can we call him Star Wars Pat? Star Wars
I
Pat!
I called you Star Wars Pat.
I
We're doing our live feed.
I don't know that I want to give that to you.
Well, challenge me, motherfucker.
So yeah, a lot of Star Wars love going on in the after hours this time. With this crew. So Pat, you're a regular, but please tell everybody else, all of our new viewers, a little bit about yourself, what you got going on.
I'm super sick.
Oh, no.
Oh, cool.
I'm just, the sickest dude in the world. I'm nearing 30, so I'm becoming an adult. I'm a barber. I own a shop. I love Star Wars. I love The Simpsons, and I'm a collector of everything weird.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.
That is
So-
the best way to describe you.
So from the super sick man himself.
Yeah.
So let's dive into this.
Yeah.
I mean, San Diego just goes around. You know what? I want to start this off here because I've been really dying to hear a little bit about it. Josh recently got to go to Celebration. A lot of us were super jealous. I could have gone to the first one in Anaheim, and I kicked myself in the ass every time I think about it that I did not go. Because I was like, oh, they'll be back, and it was the biggest mistake ever. But anyways, Josh, tell us a little bit about what happened.
So, Celebration is one of the biggest Star Wars conventions. San Diego's the biggest pop culture one, but Celebration is the Star Wars convention to go to.
Yeah.
So, obviously getting there, I had some little issues outside the convention that kind of, altered my plans and trip
this is the story he
situational
told at the
stuff.
store.
But for the most part, everything at the convention was really amazing. Like the tribute to Carrie Fisher. I mean, all the trailer release stuff.
Oh my God.
Tons of toys.
Yeah, it
That's
looked
like
amazing.
my thing.
I tuned in for the trailer release, and I was just like watching, and I'm on my phone watching as it happened. I'm like, come on, because I had to be somewhere. And my wife happened to be home that day, and she's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm trying to watch this put there. And then the best part was when they teased the poster. We brought a poster, and
the
you're
poster.
like,
Yeah, everybody went.
oh.
Yeah, it was crazy walking near a lot of that stuff because if you didn't camp out for each one of those bigger panels, you didn't get to see all the craziness inside the like the area. But near the live telecast where the big huge TIE fighter was, if you were watching, they had everybody you could think of that was walking on that stage. Mark Hamill was like 20 to 30 feet away, and I was shooting T-shirts out of like an 11, and I was like, this is crazy. But like just walking the convention, like I saw Warwick Davis on his hoverboard Segway thing because he's so small. I mean, it was crazy. It was a lot of fun, but you know, outside of that, just ran into some crazy stuff, planning. Love my buddy Gabe, but man, we had some issues as far as our travel and stuff went. So
Those always come up.
Awesome. Yeah, I can't wait for the next one. I mean, the next one that will be here, I'm hoping that it's, from what I hear, it's supposed to be, that's going to be in Anaheim, Star Wars Land, plus the last movie is going to be opening up that summer. So that's going to be a crazy, crazy time for Star Wars
Your
fans.
brain is gonna explode.
I know.
I'll get along with Pat's.
I don't care what
Pat,
it's
owner
going
of
to be
barbershop,
like. We're
dies
going.
from brain
I'll
aneurysm.
probably end up doing one. We'll probably do like a guy's road trip, and then I'll probably go back again with my family because it's going to be like so mind blowing. So a big part of the cons is cosplaying, and Rio, I would say you're probably going to be our authority in that.
Okay.
I mean,
At this table.
you have any cool stories, or I mean, like what's your favorite con to go to, or what's your favorite con you've been at for cosplay and stuff like that?
For the most part, I don't go to like the super big ones because I'm a poor college kid.
They're stressful too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard some horror stories, and I'm just not. I want to have fun, you know. So I usually go to both of the SAC animes, but my
Sac
favorite.
Anime is awesome, by the way.
SAC anime is great.
Yeah, it's
I love
awesome.
it personally.
Yeah,
I know
yeah,
some
yeah.
people don't. Everyone's got their own opinion, you know.
Yeah.
I don't have one.
But I feel like last time I talked about when the last time Wizard World was here. I don't remember if I brought that up or not, but I think I did for one of my favorite memories. But my favorite con was that because I dragged my boyfriend in as Max Goof, and I was Roxanne, and we got to meet Bill Farmer, and I cried. Yeah. I am a baby, and I cried because I was overwhelmed, and it was like meeting like a childhood hero, and he's so sweet, and I just love him.
That's
I
awesome.
think I do remember that, actually.
Yeah, like I remember bringing it up, like I
Yeah.
cried like a baby.
Yeah, so it's a good, you know, there's all these. We actually did our first cosplay at that same.
Yeah, I was just bringing. I was
yeah,
just grabbing
at
the
that,
mask.
at that same.
This was
Wizard World.
my mask at that Comic-Con. We
Yeah,
went
that
as,
was which game was that?
Arkham Asylum.
Arkham Asylum. No,
No,
it wasn't.
Arkham City.
Arkham City just came out.
The Joker's henchman.
And that was the one where you could finally play live. And so we went we found a Harley Quinn, and
Yeah.
then we went as 3 Joker henchmen, and it was fun. I mean,
That
it
was the
fun.
first time I had ever cosplayed, and man, during that, because you showed up later on that day, and it was just me and my friend.
Yeah,
Kelsey.
you were there early.
It was
yeah.
me and Kelsey, our Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
So me walking around in full costume, wearing this and her,
Yeah.
we couldn't get 10 feet without getting stopped. I mean,
Yeah.
super pretty girl, you know,
Yeah, and
looking like Harley Quinn.
We'd say
like,
it was
I'd
awesome,
stop
and it
her.
was actually a funny story because our good friend Tony Mandellin, tattoo artist here at Mike's shop, we actually convinced him to be our 3rd Joker goon.
Yeah,
And
you asked me, and I was like, yep.
yeah, he wanted no part of it or whatever, and it was actually really funny because we did the costume contest and everything.
Oh, and
it was funny
our
because our Harley
Quinn-
was so nervous. She kind of went on and went off before she was supposed to go on, and then the 3 of us were supposed to come on, and then we were gonna pose or whatever.
we all like me and Mondo
And she
chased
kind
after
of,
her.
she kind of came in and walked off, and then, the
And
two of
Tony
us-
just
the 2 of us
stayed.
changed, but Tony got caught up at the stairs and came, And so he didn't even want to do this, and he completely got stuck up on stage
By himself, dude.
And he was
Was he
like,
pissed or was
and
he-
they
I have-
started asking him questions about the mask, and he's like, I don't know.
I didn't make him. He's like, one of those guys did.
Wow.
He's
that's
like, I didn't even want to be.
I
here.
had
They
I
thought
have the
he was
picture
good.
in my station next door too of all of
Oh,
us.
cool.
Yeah.
What year did you guys go? Was it the
Uh,
first
the
time
first-
he came?
the first
Okay,
one,
yeah.
yeah.
The first one was good.
Yeah.
It was fun. I
They
had
did a
so
good
much
job
fun.
doing that.
They
back
did.
Dude, that was a lot of
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
The second time they brought it, it was just they didn't bring enough celebrities, or they didn't. I don't know
It was
what
it
they
was
did.
like half the size.
Yeah, it was way half. the
And
size,
Lou
yeah.
Ferrigno was there again. Like, I mean,
He's
how
there at
many
every
times?
convention.
How many times can you walk past Lou Ferrigno and be like, "Man, well, there he is."
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's at every convention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a good cosplaying is always awesome.
I actually, the first con I ever went to was probably 17 years ago.
Okay.
I met Adam West. He was like the first
Ooh.
celebrity at a con that I ever
He's
met.
another one that you always see at the conventions.
Well, not.
You used to.
We
You
used to.
can't anymore.
Okay, you used to. Used to. I wasn't gonna bring that up, guys.
No, we have to. We have to
Okay.
acknowledge that he's gone. We all have to mourn him.
Wait,
Um,
he's dead?
No, he's just gone. He's on vacation. He's on vacation.
He's on
He
vacation.
just went home.
Yeah, he just went home.
But he was
back
like the
cave.
like Adam West is like the nicest
Super nice.
man in the
Yeah.
world. Like he's like every old person that sees somebody with tattoos and how they comment on him.
Yeah.
Oh, look at your tattoos, and like that's how he was. And I'm like, oh my god, you're just like a regular guy who's never seen somebody like me. That's so crazy to me. So he was so nice. He's
Yeah.
probably the nicest celebrity next to Stan Lee, of course, that I've ever met at a con.
Yeah.
We should actually go down the line and just say, what
Yeah.
is your first con you went to that you
Yeah.
remember?
Well, Pat, I mean, tell us a little bit about your experiences down at cons. But what do you go for when you go down? I know
When-
you're kind of
when
like
I
me, you're
go,
real eclectic.
I go for the stuff to collect, not like the super exclusive shit, but like the stuff that I wouldn't otherwise get.
Yeah, and that's
in
and
my
that's
normal life,
exactly me. Like me and Avi were
Yeah.
talking about San Diego, and I'm like, I don't care about the exclusives. I'm not exclusive. I want just the shit that I like,
Yeah.
the stuff that I
If it
want.
catches my eye, I want it. Like I found at Comic-Con last year, I found a print of Gigantor,
Nice.
the original giant robot anime Gigantor, fighting Crow from Mystery Science Theater.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was like drawn like a really classic Sumi Yi painting.
Yeah.
Yes.
With like heavy brush strokes and stuff.
Yeah.
It's just that kind of stuff that I look for, and then panels.
Panels?
Panels,
Oh,
panels,
yeah.
panels.
Right
I
on.
love
Yeah, you're
panels.
definitely a panel guy.
I love panels.
You're all about that information.
Yeah, like I went to the very first Rick and Morty panel, and I went to the
Dang.
second Rick and Morty panel, and I went to the third Rick and Morty panel.
Yeah.
And
So you like Rick and Morty, is what you're saying?
I guess you could
Hey,
say-
actually, I wore this shirt because I got this at WonderCon, and it was a WonderCon exclusive.
That's awesome.
Rick and Morty, and they had this other one that was so tight of Rick walking through the portal.
Rick and Morty's so huge
But-
right now.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
We were just talking in that Justice League trailer.
It's playing in the background.
Yeah.
Playing in the
In the
background
background.
on Batman.
Yeah, when Flash
on-
is talking
Buff
about
Summers
Yeah.
and Buff Rick going at it.
Yeah.
One of my favorite panels I've ever been to is the very last Futurama panel.
Okay.
The Futurama is I'm a sucker for anything
Oh, yeah.
Matt Groening has ever put
Yeah.
his name on.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that.
The first year I ever went to Comic-Con was the last year that Futurama was airing new episodes. So
Right.
now it's just in syndication when they were still making new episodes. It was right before that season had premiered. And
That was after they did those movies, right? The two.
yeah, it was after the movies,
Yeah.
and then they got picked up again on Comedy
Right.
Central, and they aired like 3 seasons on Comedy
And
Central.
then that was it.
And then the last episode, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but they did like a live table read because the entire cast was
So
there.
cool.
Oh, that would
That's
be
my
nice.
favorite,
Live
dude.
table read of
That's my
the
favorite.
the first 2 acts of that episode, and didn't finish it because they were like, all right, the last episode will air on this date, and of course it was like 8 months from then. I was sitting in
No.
there was one year though, to get to that Rick and Morty panel, that first Rick and Morty panel.
Yeah, yeah.
I went.
I was there
to-
too, man. I can't believe I didn't see you there. But I did see you at the con.
Yeah, we did see each
Yeah,
other
yeah,
there. So I went to the Comic-Con is the convention center, right? And Hall H is on the end of the convention center, and then the Hilton Bayfront is like across the street,
Right.
right down there. And there's an Indigo Ballroom inside the Hilton Bayfront.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's where they do like the medium-sized panels, like
Yeah.
like the FX panel, like
Like Archer and stuff like that.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
And the Cartoon Network panel. So I went early in the morning because there was nothing on the floor I needed to see. So I went at like 9:45, and I walked up to the doors to the Indigo Ballroom, and they were like, "All right, we need one single." And I walked up, and I was like 20th in line, and nobody was raising their hand. I was like, "I'm alone." And they were like,
Right on.
"You're in, come on." So I didn't wait at all, but I got in there at 9:45. I watched Clarence, cartoon show Clarence, Adventure Time, Uncle Grandpa, and then one more Cartoon Network show that was just premiering, but I don't think it survived. I don't think it's on anymore. I don't remember what it was.
Okay.
But then that followed the entire Adult Swim panel,
Yeah.
and then the entire Fox panel.
Right,
I was
right.
in that panel room until 6:30 p.m.
Dude, it
Oh
was
my
awesome.
God.
Sitting in that chair just like this the whole day.
So,
But I saw
Yeah.
the premiere for the Mike Tyson Mysteries, and Mike Tyson was there.
Oh my God, I
Mike
love
Tyson
that show.
is just as batshit insane
Yep.
as
Yeah.
Mason's
Yep,
about to be.
absolutely.
Yeah.
That's
There
not
was
an
this-
act. That
Dude,
is
there
not
was
an
this guy
act.
in the front. There was this guy in the front wearing a tie-dye T-shirt, and
Yeah.
somebody was asking a question, and Mike Tyson interrupted the dude asking the question to say that guy looked like Jerry Garcia. Like, "Oh, you look like Jerry Garcia." And then another guy comes up to ask a question. He was an Asian kid, so he's like, "Oh, you look like Gangnam Style. You look like Gangnam Style." And then the kid was like, "Oh yeah, that's okay." And he was like, "Yeah, all
That's
right, go
mildly
sit down,
racist.
Gangnam Style." And then he asked his question.
that's funny.
Wow.
So it was great. I mean, I sat in there all day. But
Yeah. I was in there the whole day. I think that's when Armando called me.
Yeah, I was like outside scratching, trying to get in.
I was like,
Somebody
"Can we
please
get
let me
Yeah.
in. So yeah, I think Pat. I mean, from hearing your experiences, I think you're a lot like me as far as cons. Like, I would rather go by myself,
Yeah.
so I can go and look at the stuff and see all the booths. I don't care about most of that other stuff.
Yeah.
I just want to go and find what I want. And
Chops and I have ran into each other at the airport.
Yeah.
We run into each other going there and back at the airport
Yeah.
almost every year that we've gone.
Yeah.
And
I've never seen him at.
I said that the first time we ever went.
Yeah.
We saw each other at the airport going there,
Yeah.
and we saw each other at the airport coming back.
Yeah.
But we didn't see each other one single second,
Yeah.
anytime, at any place, ever.
Because
while
like
we were there.
Pat, I'm actually the opposite. I absolutely kind of hate panels. Like, I think that they just take up so much of your freaking time.
Yeah.
Like, you're staying in that room
Right,
the entirety of the day.
Yeah.
So for me, I roam the floor. I really participate in like a lot of the scavenger hunt type Instagram
Those are cool.
fun stuff.
Yeah.
Like
You get free
Darren,
stuff.
Darren, I did a contest for him. He hit me up while I was down there, and he's like,
Tell
Oh, I
that
remember-
story.
I remember that.
Tell that story.
Yeah.
So he hit me up and was like, "Hey, this artist is giving out a free print at this time. Go check it out." And I was like, it's a little hard. Like, there's a lot of different people. Like, I'll go check it out, but I'm not gonna make any promises. So I go over, and so then I walk over, and I'm like kind of pacing. I got there like 10 minutes early. You don't want to like stand in the
Right.
booth because then it's just awkward.
Right.
So like you had to say a secret phrase. So literally like the person saw me, I'm walking up, and I'm like, it's about a minute in, and I'm like just pacing by.
were you just walking, or were you in costume?
No, I wasn't. I can't do costume
Okay.
stuff, like big stuff. But so I was pacing about a minute before. I'm like standing next to the person, ready to like tap them and say the phrase. So this dickhead runs up, says the phrase, and I'm like, what? Come on, it's not even like time yet.
Yeah.
So they were like, whoa, okay. Then like 4 other people ran up like after, and I was like, oh fuck. So they were like, all right, we're gonna have to fix this. Like, come back in 20 minutes. You guys are gonna do a contest. I'm like, all right. So they're like, whoever has the best Yoda impression. And I'm like, oh. So I had a couple minutes to go outside.
Practice?
Well, I had to go look up all the phrases because no joke, every single person would do or do not.
Oh,
do,
yeah,
try.
of course.
I'm like, oh, great. So I like looked up every Yoda phrase I could, and there's this really long, drawn out, really kind of epic one. And I had to like practice a little bit, like, and memorize it because I didn't want to like read it off my phone.
Yeah.
So like I was practicing, eating my lunch, and then I kind of like walked back in. So they're like, okay, you. All right, say your phrase. So they all said their generic one, and then I said it, and they're like, oh. So it was down to me and another guy. He was like just tripping over everything, and I was like saying it pretty fluently, like this guy. no one picked me.
Yeah.
So the messed up thing was, I was like, yeah, my name is Darren. he autographed the print. I'm like, yeah, my name's Darren. I had to like flip my badge around, get him a hookup. But like, you know, they had a ton of like cool stuff, like the print right next to the Stormtrooper helmet. Alex Pardee did a contest. Like, he's very, very hard to find. And he's like, if you find me, you get a golden ticket. I sell my ticket, but you get a pick of a prize. And I absolutely love that Dave Correa, he did this one-off Apocalypse on his art book. And I was like, absolutely had to have that. So like I tracked him, I hounded him, I followed him on, I was just like a stalker. I was like, all right, I just saw him. He was in 1700. All right, cool. I'm like 2 sections away. Boom. Looking every just.
I would be
zigzag.
terrified if somebody like you was stalking me.
Especially this guy.
I would be terrified. I
So
would
walked
run.
up to him, and he's like, "Oh man, I just give me 5 minutes. I'm gonna go over here." I'm like, "Hey Alex, what's up? You got your ticket today?" And I was just really respectful to him. I was like, "Give me the ticket!" I wasn't yelling at him. I was like, "No, you came a ton. Like every time I missed you, so here, you gave it to me and got it." And I was like, absolutely blown away. And again, like cool stuff you get to do that
Right.
doesn't cost you anything. That's
Yeah.
like the one thing with like a lot of the bigger cons that I like. There's so much stuff to do
Oh,
that
yeah.
doesn't cost any money.
Yeah.
But like Wizard World, like I love Wizard World because you know I got to cosplay in that one too, and it's like more local. It's fun to walk
I've
around.
generally done the Sacramento one, probably about 3 or 4 years. Did this one already happen? I think I might have
Yeah.
missed it.
Yeah.
It
I
happened
missed this year, but that
2,
one
3
was
weeks
always a
ago,
really good
right?
one.
They didn't advertise a whole lot this
Yeah.
year, so
Yeah, it
a
was
lot of
weird.
people didn't know until it was happening. I went, what happened?
I did
know.
the same thing. I was going out of town for a week, and I learned like the day before I left. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna plan my trip differently.
Right?
Like I had no idea.
You know what's a cool convention is Walker Stalker Con.
Where's that?
Oh yeah.
So that's
The
in
Walking
San
Dead
Francisco.
one?
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
Walking Dead, and it's in San Francisco. And you get to
Nice.
see like a bunch of horror stuff that it's amazing.
That's
So
cool.
that's a cool one. If you
Yeah,
guys
that's
are
good to
looking
know.
into- Yeah, Walker
There's a
Stalker.
lot of Walking Dead fans out there.
It's not just Walking Dead. It's like other things you get to see.
like just a horror
yeah,
movie,
just, yeah, horror
zombies.
stuff. Yeah.
Just
Speaking-
kind of geared more
Speaking
towards
of horror movies,
Segue.
segue, our show next week will be horror movies. We're gonna be playing the Friday the 13th game that just came
that.
out.
We're gonna have
which is
probably our
super
youngest
fun.
guest
we're gonna
ever,
have our youngest guest ever.
who is crazy and fanatical and knows his shit.
I've never met somebody so young knows so
Yeah.
much
Yeah,
about
this kid actually
genre.
taught himself how to play piano because he wants to score movies.
Yeah. So Daniel will be on the show next week if he can get the day off. So request it off now, Daniel. I know you're watching at some point. So yeah, that's our
and-
segue.
And I definitely just want to touch bases real quick. So we are going to take the show down to 2 days a week. We're
no,
gonna-
2
I mean,
bi-weekly.
sorry, bi-weekly.
Bi-weekly,
So 2 days a month, just so we can give you guys more content and just put together an all-around better show. But that's going to happen. We'll keep you guys posted when that's going to happen. It's going to be August, September when we are going to move the show. So
Yeah, we're still going to be
just so you
uploading a
guys
ton of content, and we'll be uploading to the Instagram and to the YouTube and the respective Facebooks.
yeah, everything will still be on Facebook, but
Yeah.
we are trying to focus a little bit more towards our YouTube channel as
Yeah,
well.
and we, like
so
you
stay
said,
posted.
we want to give you guys a much better produced, better content, better set. We're gonna
Yeah.
do this up.
You guys can see, we're getting there. Do we have any questions? While we're waiting for any questions, do you guys have anything or want to know anything? How to con, what to do, do's or do
Well,
nots?
we
I want to
never
ask.
got to your first
Yeah,
con.
I wanted to ask Rio if she had any cool stories or anything like that. I mean, I know we heard one of your really good ones about you crying.
What was your first con?
My first, well, a lot of the cons I do are anime cons, but it's the same concept. Most of the guests aren't anime guests.
Right.
I mean, they are, but they aren't. Like,
Yeah, and I
Sack
think-
Anime's done a lot of Disney lately, like Disney guests.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't.
Well, because
um,
Disney's got Studio Gimli now, right? Don't they
Yeah.
like own
But
that?
they're
Like
doing,
the Miyazaki
they
movies.
brought in like Paige O'Hara and Robbie Benson. Before that, they had Jasmine and Jafar,
Oh, yeah.
whose names I don't know off the top of my head because
That was last year,
Like
right?
from Aladdin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I think a lot of people too out there. Some of you guys I know have been tuning in because you don't really understand what nerds are and all that other stuff. But a lot of people don't understand what cons are, and really they're a pop culture convention.
Yeah.
So for the
Now
most
they are,
part,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, for the most part, you go in, you can find hard to find comic books, collectibles, toys. I mean, that's what I go for. I know that's what Pat goes for. But there is cosplaying, and a lot of people think Comic Cons is cosplaying. It's just something to
That's
do
just a
there.
portion of it, yeah.
It's something else to do to kind of express your inner
Even
nerd.
if you're not a nerd, especially Comic Con, is just a monumental sight to behold.
Oh yeah.
The sheer volume of people.
Well, they
the
have a
way
little
that
bit
the
for
people-
everyone.
Yeah, the way that the people are like corralled while you're there. That was one of the biggest things that blew me away was there's something for everyone.
Yeah.
Oh
Even
yeah.
if you're
Yeah,
like-
leatherworking,
if you
weapons.
don't really
fucking-
care about pop culture, you like steampunk. There's a whole bunch of
Oh,
steampunk.
Yeah,
Dude.
exactly.
There's a bunch of weirdos in steampunk.
You know what I thought was cool? That the one booth that does the 3D imaging of you and makes the little action figure
Yeah.
of you.
Yeah.
I think that's super cool. I haven't done it yet, but I think the next time I cosplay, I'm definitely gonna get a little action figure of me in my costume. I think that'd be super. You should do that too.
I thought about it honestly. I never wear one of my like better costumes.
We gotta
when I
plan
see
it when you
those.
know they're there. You wear the costume.
I
Not.
never know they're
Oh,
there,
man.
and then my lineup's already figured out because I always lose random pieces of my costumes in between because no matter how hard I try to put everything away, it's never truly where it's
No.
supposed to be. And so, I'm just like, well, okay.
Well, next time.
Well, but no, my first actual convention was SAC Anime. I think it was SAC Anime Summer. I don't remember. It was so far back. I was so new to cosplay, and it was so much smaller back then, but it was still so big to me. And there were, the voice acting guests and the panels, but for some reason that's never been what I go for. I made so many friends at convention that I literally go because I'm like, costumes, friends, yeah. So I might be the boring one because I don't.
No, that's what he was saying. There's something for everyone.
Oh, yeah.
Panels, cosplay, scavenger hunts.
Yeah.
You know
Everybody has the thing that they like.
One of
Yeah.
the things that I saw, and I wish I had more time to get into, but all of the lightsaber dueling that they've been doing now
man.
just looks so fucking
Yeah.
epic. I mean, like, dude, I ain't gonna lie, every now and then I pick up a lightsaber and I start spinning around, but then you watch like the YouTube videos and you're like, dang, man, these guys
There's
look
that one-
so good.
That one, it's like a tournament where they're in like an actual tournament for like
They have-
lightsaber
they
fighting.
do a tournament at SDCC. It's on the. It's
Oh, yeah.
on the like.
That's probably what that
video
video is
program
from.
that has the block scheduling and it's literally
Oh,
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
In like the Xbox lounge, it's like lightsaber duels.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah,
It's insane what
some
like
of the-
Comic Con is all about. I mean, you guys don't understand. There's like games. There's everything you can think
Yeah.
of. So the best thing to do is just plan it out the way that you're gonna go to it. So like if you go
Yeah.
on Monday and there's like a scavenger hunt for like a pin for like I think Gears of War was last year.
Yeah.
They had a scavenger pin that you can get at certain times.
Yeah. The way that I do it to keep myself from getting overwhelmed is I don't look at anything until the day before.
Okay.
So
That way you're not
I
over
don't go.
planning.
I never go to preview night.
What?
Because it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Okay.
But Wednesday is preview night, and I never go to preview night. So if I go to San Diego, I get there on Wednesday evening, and then I go to Comic Con, get my badge, register, go in, and I have my poster tube in my backpack. I wear my poster tube around the back,
Right on.
like
Like
bow and
that.
arrow, and I wear my backpack on the front, like a fanny pack. And I get my stuff,
You're like this.
and I open the program and I read what's going on that day, and I take about 15 minutes to like plan out like this is what I want.
Priority from
here.
priority to
Yeah, there's
lowest.
a panel about the like in 2014.
Perfect,
the
man.
30th anniversary.
That's perfect.
There was a 30th anniversary for the first Ninja Turtles comics.
Ugh, so good.
With
I read those when I was younger. My friend's dad had them.
Yeah.
Man, those books.
And there was
are
a
crazy.
30th anniversary panel, but it was at the same time that one of the famous monsters panels was happening.
Yeah.
And I was like, out of the choose, I'm like,
It's hard. It really is hard. I mean, you go there
Yeah.
and you're like,
So, do we have any questions?
Justin Crespo's going off. He really wants us to do a Spider-Man,
That is not a problem.
especially for Homecoming coming out. He wants to come on, and also he would like to know how do you get into San Diego Comic-Con?
You dress like a ninja and sneak
Yeah,
in.
so San Diego Comic
hard.
Con.
You have to get
Oh
in
my
the
god,
bus.
it's hard.
From
it's
what
hard.
I heard, it used to be amazingly easy, and I'll just tell you this: when the day I've never got in, I get to go this year. I was lucky enough to score a Sunday ticket, which worked out for me because even if I would have got tickets, I would have had to cancel and not go anyways.
Yeah, yeah.
But you have to get into a lottery regardless if you've been or not. And this year I got in the lottery, and I was on my way home from vacation, and I made my family sit in our hotel room for 3 hours while I sat on the online lounge to
Yeah.
not get tickets.
It's insane. It's hard. I mean,
Your wife is so patient.
Yeah, I have an awesome wife, so. I mean, but other than that, I mean, there's other avenues. I know, Chops, you've said, you know, if you are with some group, sometimes you can get in.
Yeah, sometimes in those aspects, like, it's much harder. But I mean, there's a lot of people that I know that go the media route. You know, you have a web show, you have
Hey, that's a good idea.
photography type stuff. You know, you can apply for that. Some cosplay stuff. I know Five Up First generally has a way to kind of volunteer to do stuff. You man a table. Same with like the Rebel Legion. That's the Rebel side of the Star Wars cosplay. They do a lot of that stuff too. So there's always time to volunteer to get in. But
that's a good way.
yeah, generally it's very difficult. You put it in the lottery. Like I haven't been able to go the last 2 years because my pre-registration I haven't been picked. And then even both the general sales I've missed out.
Yeah, and
The
that's how it
lottery
works too.
system's
So
funky.
if you've gone before, you get into a lottery for a basically a pre-lottery.
Yeah.
And if you don't get selected in that, then you can go into the general lottery as well.
Yeah.
And try. And I know a lot of people will do the, because you can buy 3 people's tickets at the same time, correct?
Yeah, you
Hobby?
have a buying party.
So yeah, a lot of people have buying parties to where 3 people get together. You all have each other's logins and information.
Yeah.
If one of you guys gets selected, you can buy 3 other people's passes at the same time. So it's really tricky to kind of get in.
It's super hard.
And it's hard, yeah. San Diego, I can't wait to see it. I've never been there. I was outside scratching at the door last year, so I'm pretty excited I get to go this year. But another really good one is WonderCon in Anaheim. It's a really good con. It's big as well. Lots of good stuff to check out there.
And don't be upset about not getting tickets to San Diego. You can still go to San Diego, and there's tons of stuff outside of San Diego. You'd be
Yeah.
surprised.
Yeah.
Like it's amazing when even stepping out of the convention, you're like, holy crap.
I thought he texted.
The year that FXX did the first Every Simpsons Ever
Yes.
Man.
marathon.
I tried.
First off,
I tried.
I didn't try. I did.
No.
That,
I started at one
Oh, I
point.
know.
I have the TVs on and work all day. And I get home and I watch, and then I sleep a little bit. And I get home. Work. The year that they did that, they had like a Simpsons land outside. Like
Yes,
you go
I remember
into
that.
it's like an FXX booth, and they had all the Simpsons shit, and it was in between the Hilton Bayfront and the convention
Yeah.
center, and it was like, oh, scan your badges here, but I didn't, and I went in.
That's awesome.
I had my badge on, so I could have, but I didn't. I just walked past it, and it was fine.
Yeah. Yeah, there's tons of cool stuff. I think last year was the Rick and Morty like carnival.
Yeah.
Or the Adult Swim carnival. You can actually go in the back. They didn't check. What did they check IDs?
Yeah, they did. I couldn't
Oh,
get
they
in.
did it, and they give you a
I was,
raffle
I was
ticket.
scratching
Yeah.
at that door too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But you
they
get to
they
see
made
it.
me-
Yeah.
they made
always a
me-
bridesmaid, never a bride.
Yeah, I could have waited in line, but not got in. But I could have waited in the line for a panel,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't have been able to get in that panel. That was about all I was able to do
They
outside.
changed the way that you get your stuff. Did anybody go last year?
Yeah, last year they changed the whole like security thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had to
You
like.
have to go into a
yeah.
different part of you have to go into a building next door to the convention.
Yeah.
And then you get your badge.
Yeah.
And it's a literal, they don't like just look at it like, oh, yep, you're good.
Yeah, they don't do that
You
anymore.
have to beep in and out every single time. You
Yeah.
have to beep it in so that they can track you.
Which is stupid because
It's like a high-tech facility, like
it's dumb.
with
They-
government secrets.
Yeah.
They had kind of did that at WonderCon too this year.
One thing that sucks about that is that people that waited overnight to get a raffle ticket to like go to Hasbro or Funko had to wait in line like all night, scan their badge, then wait to another line just to get a raffle ticket and then scan your badge there.
That's
Yeah,
my
it's insane.
biggest- As an avid Comic Con, especially the biggest one,
Yes,
as an avid convention goer,
yes.
my biggest piece of advice is be prepared to wait.
Yeah,
Yes.
hurry up and wait.
Everything.
Yes.
San Diego Comic Con and every convention that's bigger than a small one is just all waiting for everything.
It's like,
Yeah.
it's like being at
Bring
Disneyland.
something to sit on.
Yes.
Yeah.
and bring something.
Some
to do.
sunblock.
Yeah.
Sunblock.
Bring your 3DS because there's plenty of people at the convention
that's
with
what-
their
Well, now
3DS.
if you got that Nintendo Switch,
Yeah, Nintendo Switch. Yeah. I think last year was a big like Pokemon Go thing. I met up with so many people that were into Pokemon Go last year. It was epic.
speaking of Pokemon Go, off subject,
Yeah.
did you ever go downtown to the plaza, like when Pokemon
Oh,
Go
yeah.
was at its height?
Everybody was out there.
I was there over the weekend, and it was a ghost town, and I just, for some reason, remembered going there, like,
Everybody.
it was like
The whole
hundreds
town.
of people, and now you go on like a Friday and Saturday, and it's a ghost town.
But
It's
I-
just zombie meth heads and drunk people, and that's it. And I miss the Pokemon Go.
Yeah, we do,
because,
like-
at least you knew you weren't getting mugged.
It was the coolest night ever. You get to see everybody that's
Yeah.
like the same thing.
And
as you.
people that were trying to avoid it, like, I can't be seen playing Pokemon Go. Like, motherfucker, I saw you. I saw you playing down there because I was
Dude,
there. Yeah.
I loved it. I loved it so much.
That's some good advice. He says make friends, 'cause you'll never know who you can hop in line with.
It's true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good point, Sean. That's actually what we did last year. We made friends and got like front cuts, so it was cool.
You gotta warn people when you do that sound effect.
So Rio, do you have any other? Whoops.
Give it a stick. Put it on the table.
I can't say I have any of that.
You don't have any
Sorry.
gong show? Man.
No, sorry.
See?
Wah, wah.
So
Oh, do we have that
you
one?
you have a lot of friends and stuff with cosplaying, and you guys also get into some groups and stuff like that, right?
There's a couple like subgroups in the general Reno community. I can't say I'm like high tier on anything really. Like I said before, the most I do is run the seasonal gatherings, but yeah, I know a lot of people here, a lot.
Yeah.
You eventually see everyone or
Yeah.
someone's heard your name and you're like,
Have
I
you
don't
heard-
know you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But hello, I'll be nice. But I
Yeah.
don't know you. You know me. That's odd.
Yeah, and anybody that's looking to get into it, we actually did kind of support was Reno cosplayers.
Yes.
I'm on Facebook, so that's kind of a good avenue. Is there any other good avenues for anybody that might be interested in
there's-
doing that?
There's a lot of Great Basin Geek GBG groups.
Yeah, Great Basin Geek's another one too.
That's one of the subgroups. I don't think SnafuCon really has any groups or anything, but if you just look up Reno or cosplay or Great Basin, anything,
They'll come
bunch
up.
of stuff will pop up.
Yeah.
So,
Have you ever? Let me ask you this: have you ever had anything really crazy happen to you?
Cosplay fight.
Yeah.
never gotten in a fight. I can.
Has that
Not
happened?
even in character?
Oh gosh, it's hard not to get too in character sometimes. That Jessica Ivy made me want to deck a couple people, but I'm like, no, I want to stay at the con.
I want to be allowed back.
But really, I don't have any like personal stories. I've heard a couple of like
I know you've heard some juice. Give it to us.
at the last SAC anime with the crazy storm, the fire alarm went off because I guess in the vendor hall they had like kettle corn, but it was smoking and it made the fire alarm go off. We all ran outside, but there was an Overwatch gathering. And they were all kind of crammed in this hallway and they didn't know what was going on. They were trying to get out, but they couldn't get out like right away. And so it took them until the alarm kind of went off, like turned off from what I heard. And I went, y'all could have died.
This is not safe.
Y'all could have died. You're having a gathering in a hallway. What are you doing?
That hallway, there's a lot of gatherings, by the way.
Yeah,
That front hallway at
Yeah.
SAC Anime, yeah.
but I think it was like one of like the indoor areas. I think it was next to one of the sets of stairs or something. From the
Oh,
pictures
right,
I saw.
okay.
I'm not sure. I know
Escalator?
it was inside though.
Yeah.
But I literally, I forgot what I was wearing that day. I went, I'm not into this. So I went and I changed into that stupid outfit I've mentioned 40 times. Came back. So I'm like, yeah, I'm feeling great about myself. Walk in, take 3 steps, not even kidding. And then it went off and I went,
No.
it's cold outside.
I think the first Wizard World I went to was 5 years ago in Portland, and Billy D. Williams was there. And my buddy Chris had never been to a Comic-Con. We found out about it last minute. And we were walking through the crowd, and he accidentally like shoulder checks this dude.
What?
And he turns around, he's like, "Oh man, I'm sorry." And it's Billy D. Williams. And he turns around, he's like, "Oh, it's all right, man." And Chris he didn't know what to say. He's like, "Okay," and just walked away. He's like, Was that? I was like,
Yo, straight up, I have the same exact story. So it's funny that this Steve Cavallero.
Yeah.
So, 20 this same year, 2015.
Yeah.
He was dressed as one of the Aquabats guys, and he had his kids with him, and they were dressed as Aquabats. And I was looking at like a booth of just art supplies and stuff, and I turned around and I ran into somebody, and I'm not a friendly dude. So and I was like,
No.
I like looked down at this dude who was maybe like this tall, and I was like, what the fuck, Aquabat? And then I was like, and he was walking away, and he was standing like this, and he had his kids, and he kind of didn't really say anything to me. I was like, oh my god, that was Steve Cavallero.
Yeah.
I said, what the fuck is Steve Cavallero? I felt like such an asshole.
I've had a few like that. Like
Yeah.
just walking in a convention, like you'd be surprised at as many celebrities and like actually legitimately walk the floor. Like you see the ones where they're like in the costume, they walk around. Like
It's like, and it's
there's tons that are legit just down there that like some of them
They're
are not
hidden.
like high.
They're not
Yeah.
hitting.
I ran into Brian Posehn once, and I was seeing him that night. I was like, dude, I'm gonna see you tonight. He was like, oh, cool. Well, I'm buying comics, so see you at the show.
leave me alone, nerd.
Blake from Workaholics, he happened to be at one booth, and
I was following him out after it closed on Sunday. I was following a dude out wearing a mask with his crazy fucking hair tied back, and he was wearing like a Comedy Central shirt, and I was like, this guy.
Hannibal Buress.
That's the guy.
That's the guy.
Hannibal Buress walked by, saw him, and he was just walking through the crowd.
Oh yeah.
Not a lot of people knew, but like funniest one that just happened was at Celebration. Fly in to Orlando, and I'm downstairs with a couple of my friends from Sacramento. One of them who happens to cosplay a Boba Fett. So we're there and land. We're just waiting at the baggage claim. Jeremy Bullock walks up. And he's like, oh shit, it's Boba Fett! Oh my God! And I was like, dude, you gotta get his picture. And he walks up, he's like, oh, you guys my driver? And we're like,
I will take you.
Yeah, come on
I
in.
thought we were there to pick him up, and we're like,
I will take you anywhere you want
we're
to
just
go.
stoked to see you. And yeah.
We got a question from Chris. Is most common cosplay you see at cons?
Harley
Harley Quinn. Oh my god.
And Deadpool.
Fucking Deadpool.
Fucking
Spider-Man.
Deadpool.
Every
Spider-Man
dude is a
too.
Deadpool, and every chick is a goddamn Harley Quinn.
Yeah,
Every
they're-
generation. Good for you. Really, I'm honestly really glad. There's every generation of every one of those. There's a big fat fucking Deadpool. There's the Merc with a mouth Deadpool where his shit's rolled up. And his face is all fucked up. There's every single Harley Quinn from really, really good
To
like
really,
Suicide
really bad.
Squad
Yeah.
and really good like first gen Harley Quinn with the black and red suit and the big hammer to a girl that just looks like she didn't change out of her pajamas.
Yep.
Like there's 10 million Deadpools, there's 10 million Jokers, there's 10 million Spider-Mans, there's 10 million
A
Harley
story
Quinns.
about a Deadpool. Last con.
I'm sure it's obnoxious.
It surprised me a little bit. One of the few groups I agreed to do recently was actually the costumes that me and Cheyenne came in last time, the pinup princesses. Well, no one in the group, either no one was there or no one could get it done. It was me and one of my other friends, and she did Aurora or whatever, and she was getting ready in my room for a while. I'll put a while. And I'm ready at like 8 in the morning, just jumping out. Like, I gotta go. I'm missing everything. I'm not missing anything.
No.
Walk outside, cross the little street thing, because it's like the hotel and then the convention center. And then this Deadpool just immediately walks up, drops to his knee, and proposes to me with a sour lemonade ring pop. And I went, yes.
Of course it was a Deadpool.
It was a Deadpool. And then later he found my friend, and well, they went and smoked out. And I went,
Is that what kids are calling it these days?
yes. That's what she said. She's like, and I'm like,
With Deadpool.
yeah, with Deadpool. And I'm like, okay, this Deadpool is a little too in character,
I didn't
not the
see-
best way.
I didn't see the Deadpool one in person, but when Ryan Reynolds went to, was it New York Comic Con? He went in like the costume from the movie.
I saw Hugh Jackman dressed in Wolverine.
Yeah. I think that's cool, and like nobody knew it was Ryan Reynolds till after.
Yeah.
And
Well,
and then he posted it, and
I was going down the escalator if you go upstairs and around the back, like where none of the rooms are, and then come down the escalator again. There's this little gathering of people around the Wolverine, and I was like, man, that's a really good costume.
he looks just like him.
And I was like, The closer I got, I was like, and it was fucking Hugh Jackman. He was like taking pictures and posing.
Right.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. That'd be epic.
Justin Crespo, do you guys like the superhero crawl?
No.
No, I don't like any.
No, the crawls are silly, but the superhero, I just think it's just like the slutty version of whatever. If you're a girl on one of those crawls, it's a slutty version, which, I mean, in retrospect, now that I'm saying that, it really isn't that bad. But, I mean, but it's just like the same, like you see the same shit over and over again. Like,
Yeah,
it's
it'd be
always,
awesome if
it's like a
everybody took
million
it,
fucking
yeah.
Harley Quinns and, you know.
And that's the thing is you don't go out and see like the really cool costumes. Or
Yeah, because they're
whatever.
not dressing up to look good. They're
Yeah.
they're dressing up just to get by through the night and not look like shit by the end.
To be fair, at this last crawl, I went to it because my friends, they had a lot of cosplayers have actual tables. So I went and supported my friends, and there were a lot of us in like actual legitimate costumes. Like I went as Esmeralda, and I'm like, I mean, I guess you could call that slutty, but not really. My skirt's not up to my ass or anything, but for all the other crawls, I mean, yeah, you're right.
Right?
But they tried this
And
time,
there
but
are
it
exceptions.
didn't.
There are exceptions to that. There are people that go and do these crawls and actually like do it for the costume aspect. But I mean,
Most people.
most people are out there just to act like drunk, stupid
Here's
idiots.
the thing
Yeah.
about
In
here's the thing
costume.
about cosplay at major conventions is for every 5 really really bad cosplays, there's 1 or 2 ones that really stick in your mind.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like I'm sure you've seen the dude that does Ronald McDonald Thor.
Yeah.
And there was a Joker and Harley, which is not uncommon.
Yeah.
But the Joker and Harley were like Victorian Joker. and
See,
Harley.
I love the spin, like the spin on
mashups.
stuff. Yeah, the mashups
and
are
the
great.
spin-off are great. There was a Archer and Lana. And
Oh man,
but they were just a dude and a chick like dressed like Archer and Lana, but they were perfect.
she had probably the
Yeah.
white
She
turtleneck.
had the white turtleneck
Yeah.
and the Uzis.
Yeah.
and
Dude,
the-
one that I love seeing that I see all the time, especially like in Anaheim when I go. I've been going to Anaheim pretty regular. Is I can't remember their name on Instagram or the guy's name, but he does the original '90s Ninja Turtle costumes.
Yeah. With
And
the,
I
with
remember-
the trench coats.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
well,
There's
yeah.
2 dudes that go to.
He's done that one, but
Comic-Con
he's been
every
making
year.
he's been making a couple other ones, and I
There's
remember
2 dudes that go to Comic Con every year dressed in Ninja Turtles when Raph is up above the sewer trying to get like. And he has
got
like
the hat,
fedora
yeah.
and the trench coat, and it's 2 dudes, and it's like fucking movie quality. It's
yeah,
amazing.
and that's the awesome, especially like anytime I go to a con and I see somebody in a costume that's something from my childhood or remember, I'm just like, oh, you just lose your shit. You're like, when I saw those turtles for the first time, I was like, oh my god, they're fucking Ninja Turtles.
The first year I went, I was walking down the main like way to get in with the windows, and there was all these people like lined up outside, and there was a really bad one, a really bad one, and then there was a group. There was a Commissioner Gordon Batman and Bane because that Batman had just come out, and the Bane was perfect. The dude who was playing Bane, he was taller than me, and he was jacked out of his mind, and he was holding his bulletproof vest like this, and he had the mask on, and
yeah.
the Batman was like movie quality. And there was a dude, and I know everybody's seen the pictures of him, but there was a dude as Joker in a perfect purple suit in Snow White makeup, and he had like
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
everybody's
Yeah.
seen him, and his hair is like perfectly coiffed and green, and he does this like pose like
Yeah,
this.
yeah, I
And
remember.
that's what I wanted to ask you and Chops. I've had like a 501st approved stormtrooper thing for a while, but I never really got involved with it. But I think it's so funny when people walk up to cosplayers and like, oh, let me take a picture, and they're like, yeah, sure, and they put down their bag, and then they immediately do this like flourish pose.
Yeah.
What's the go-to? Especially if you're doing the mashup, what's the go-to?
Uh,
If somebody comes up and they're like, hey,
Okay.
let me take a picture.
Luckily-
Jessica Ivy.
okay. People in Reno don't seem to understand that it's a mashup. They're like, which are you? And I'm like, both.
Both.
Yeah.
And I was actually gonna comment on that, like with the whole Harley Quinn thing. If you do a mashup or something really creative, people will notice
Oh,
you.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
yeah.
if it's the stereotypical stuff, you're gonna get lost in a sea.
Yeah, daddy's girl.
Daddy's
shirt,
little
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Pigtails, it's-
Daddy's little monster or something.
I'm not gonna lie. Harley's never been my favorite. One of my best friends is a huge Harley girl, and I'm like, oh honey, you do that.
Harley from the animated series is the best one.
But
She's the one.
Yeah.
It kills me because I'm such a Harley fan, and I have been since animated series, and it just irks me seeing Harley Quinn cosplays. I don't know, and
I'm
I just feel like everybody just kind of.
When they're
It's
really
because
well
she's
done.
like the cool one, you know. So it's like everybody just kind of jumps on that bandwagon. Like you
When they're-
don't
yo,
really
when
know.
they're really well
This
done.
isn't Harley. Isn't you know Suicide Squad Harley? That is not fucking Harley Quinn.
Yo, when they're
Harley
really well
Quinn
done, I was
is-
walking over by like the Xbox booth and stuff. At
You want
Comic-Con.
Tracy so you can give my first one?
I went to, I don't know
You
where,
insulted the guest.
she was like,
I love Ivy
she
too.
was kind of like perched up around like a booth because people wouldn't leave her alone. But she was wearing a full neck to ankles red and black bodysuit. She was built like Harley.
Oh, yeah.
She had the jester hat on, and she had a hammer. And every time they'd take a picture, she'd put her arm around and like twirl the hammer and like put her leg up and had this fucking gnarly smile. And I was like, wow, that
Yeah.
is a good ass Harley.
You see some really good ones.
And
I
then
mean,
walking by her was a girl who looked like she made her hammer.
yeah.
But yeah, no, because the slit on the dress goes like all the way up to my hip because I wanted to be extra that day when I was making it, I guess. I don't have to wear my shoes because I mean, Ivy doesn't wear shoes half the time, and I'm like, thank God, I'll trip.
Right.
Just kind of jet the hip out, hand way up on my waist, do some sort of weird hand thing, or if I have my Audrey 2 prop because I had to mix that in there too, I'll hold her out, you know, just it's hip and ass out, chest out, you know,
There was,
play into it.
I was blown away at this lady the first year I went that was doing a Scarlet Witch, but it was like comic Scarlet Witch. So
With
she,
the mask. And
so let me
yeah.
tell you, she was wearing nothing. She had a cape and a red string. Like,
So she was Vampirella.
You see a lot of
just Scarlet
that.
Witch?
Yeah, she was Scarlet Witch, but it was in the Vampirella like
Yeah.
get up.
Yeah.
And so she was wearing like the thing, but she was wearing nothing. And
Yeah.
every time somebody would be like, "Oh, let me get a picture with you," she'd like do this like, boom, boom,
Yeah.
and everybody would just be like, "Oh,"
Yeah.
like it was like a wave.
Yeah, I remember her.
Everyone has at least 2 or 3 signature poses for every costume. There's
Yeah.
a lot of research.
I remember when we did the Joker goons. It was cool because we took a lot of pictures together with people. And
I
like
had a go-to
the
pose.
go-to was looking as intensely as you could into the camera with that, and then pointing your gun somewhere at the person's head.
I was pointing
Or
it at my
yeah,
own
Mike,
head.
Mike always did his own head. I always pointed it like right at the person. One thing I want to touch on, Josh. One of my favorite places to always stop at any con, especially the bigger ones, is any of the 501st spots because they always have some sort of set. I mean, the
Yeah.
whole nine. They like make it awesome. I mean,
They
it's
take-
like
they take it serious.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
and it's so cool, and everybody's in character. Even you know, from the stormtroopers to like the TIE pilots. I mean, and even you know, I've seen a couple of emperors.
Yeah.
I mean, just everybody is just on the nines, and even I mean, like one of my favorites are the officers.
Yeah.
Especially when you see a girl officer, it just like trips me out because they are
Yeah.
just so freaking mean, and just look at you like you are nothing.
Yeah.
Hands behind your back, just walking,
The
perfect
super
posture,
outside,
and just
yeah.
like
And a lot of times you gotta kind of be in that mode because a lot of times like when you're in a costume where you like have facial expressions and people can see you, you know they're gonna feed off that.
Yeah.
Like, Stormtrooper is a faceless person. Like I can say, I can do things that people won't necessarily understand. So a lot of times when a child or an adult comes up to me, oh my God. Snowtrooper, I love you. I'm like, where's the snow at? You know, I'll talk like
Where's the
movie
snow at?
reference or whatnot.
Yeah.
You kind of just like for me got to play into it, and a lot of times like as Pat was saying, like there are poses like you know Joker Squad. You can definitely do things more like. But when
Yeah.
I'm taking a picture with a child, last thing
Yeah.
I want is my blaster next to their head.
Right.
So like a lot of times,
Luckily,
you know,
we
it's
didn't get a
like-
lot of kids asking us.
So a lot of times, you know, it's like hand on the shoulder, blaster in the air, and then just facing forward, or like I'll hold their shoulder and I'll point towards the camera.
Right on.
That way, it's like I'm using them as a deflector, or I'm capturing them, or whatever. But we get a lot of weird requests, like us to arrest them, and like like hands behind the head, and then we're like holding them, and
I'm
we
sure it
get a
gets-
lot of it.
I'm sure it gets weird.
It gets very weird with like, we've even had people like ask us to hold their babies, and
Wow.
Last year,
it's like,
Nah, I'm
definitely
cool.
don't wanna do
Yeah.
that, like-
I'm good.
Last year I was walking down one of the main drags and I like had to stop because I was so blown away at a dude that was Apocalypse, like Superman Apocalypse,
Yeah.
and he was on like stilts and had like arms. He was like 8 feet tall, and it was perfect.
Yeah.
And people were like, "Oh my God, Apocalypse! Let me get a picture!" And he would just like, and he was just like,
Yeah.
he was like had a team of like handlers,
Yeah.
and everywhere he went, people were like, "Whoa!" And they would like get out of the way, so he like made like 3 or 4 laps to the place, walking like this, and I was just like, "Oh my
Dude,
God!"
how
Yeah,
about that?
I remember seeing that
How
one.
about that one that was at the New York Comic Con, the Hulkbuster costume
Yeah.
that dude made? Man,
It was
like,
amazing.
I couldn't believe, like, obviously that's what that person does, but like, to take the time to build like a Hulkbuster that you can get into,
Yeah,
sign me
it's,
up.
it's
I'm
cool
all
seeing
about
all
it.
the crazy stuff that people do. I mean, one of my favorites was, I believe it was that celebration where a bunch of people reenacted the last scene of Rogue
Yeah.
One. Vader walking through. I mean, they were like all down the hallway and they were all fighting him, and he's just walking
That's
through.
pretty
and
insane.
they're all
too,
getting
like,
pinned up. Oh man,
yeah,
that
I
was
watching
pretty good.
That video too, and it was like in one of the hotels, like had a weird like walk up, and they're just like running. I'm like, dude, this like just happened just here, like yesterday. I could have seen it, but yeah, like when you get that, like you get a lot of that stuff where people are like super inventive. Like there was one I saw on Instagram or something like, it was Bruce Wayne's parents. So anytime they would see Batman, they would just like drop to the floor dead.
I saw the
It's
pictures
like-
of that, yeah.
Like you get like a lot of really
I
cool
love the
ones.
really obscure ones,
Yeah.
like the from Jurassic World, the Hawaiian shirt
Yeah.
this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And every time they'd ask for a picture, he'd go,
there's definitely a lot.
In the movie it is.
"Yeah."
Yeah.
Yeah.
The cosplay.
Do we have any? So we're about to wrap it up. We're going a little long tonight. If you guys have any last minute questions in the next couple minutes, please let us know. You know, be active. We're watching to see if you guys are commenting.
Josh,
and
this
any
question's
questions.
for you.
I
Do,
would like to know if you guys do your own costumes or buy them.
So we do our own costumes. There are things that sometimes are out of our capacity. Certain things can be purchased, but for the most part, every piece of the costume.
that's like,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
kind of like the thing, right? Like you want to make that costume as
Yeah,
much
you gotta
yourself.
make
Yeah.
It's just a lot of fun, and then you can have that pride. And like with the Star Wars stuff, I mean, some stuff like Josh was saying, you just have to. I've been looking into it. I just have so much stuff going on. But even when we did our Joker cosplay, like this mask, I mean, I completely sculpted this mask from scratch. I YouTubed it, and I
He
just kind
molded
of,
my face and everything.
I just kind of went for it. And Rio, I know you guys do a lot of stuff from scratch,
Most of it.
and you
yeah.
get really creative as far as like painting shoes that you might buy and stuff like that.
Oh, shoes and wigs are my favorite things to do. Like a
But-
true woman.
In regards to that
There you
person
go.
that was asking, there's always references everywhere. You know, if they're interested in Star Wars stuff, there's 501st.com you can look at for costume references to get you on point. You know, there's a lot of different avenues to kind of get cosplay stuff. So.
Also, never hurts to ask for help.
Yeah, I mean, like we mentioned, the Facebook group, stuff like that. I mean, you know, contacting Josh or any of his other guys here locally. I mean, and just get on there. You know, just Google it.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I always tell. If
Tell me
only
and
there
Aaron
was
did
something
this
you can go to find out information at the push of a key.
Yeah.
Jump on the Reno cosplay and I'll add you in there and you can ask anybody in there and they'll
Yeah.
willing to help.
Lots of avenues. Do we have any
Yeah.
other questions?
I
You
think
know,
that's
wrap
it.
it up.
one thing we didn't talk about was autographs and meeting celebrities.
Oh, I got an awesome autograph story.
All right, we'll
Okay,
do that
all
as
right.
the last one, then we'll close out.
Just because like this was so wild. So the last time I went to San Diego Comic Con, 2 years ago, I went to the Spawn booth every single day because I wanted to meet Todd McFarlane. I'd seen him, I talked to him a couple times, previous conventions, but what was weird was not 2 years ago, but the year before, what I had him do was when I met him, I had him sign my leg. So there's a part on my leg that he had actually autographed. And then the last year that I was able to go, which was I think 2015, I got back in the line, waited about an hour to meet him, and then I finally like showed him. He remembered signing my leg because I had actually gotten a tattoo. So he was blown away that I got it on there. I have a huge Spawn tattoo on my leg, so he was blown away by that. But like, it was crazy because on top of that, not only did he recognize it, like he blew it up on his Instagram. He like was showing it off, and like he had a whole collage of like people that kind of like inspired his last visit there.
I've had a
It was
lot
great.
of people who've met Todd McFarlane say that he's like
Dude,
just
he's
a
so
super
nice.
nice dude.
Nice guy.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Cool.
So yeah, it was crazy.
So that's it, guys. I mean, that is cosplay. I mean, sorry. That
You're
is,
looking at me,
Yeah.
so I mean.
that is conning in a nutshell. I mean, lots of experiences. Thank you, everybody. Pat, thank you for coming on. Rio, Josh, if you guys have any questions, please comment. You know, I mean,
And don't forget to tune in next week for the horror movie episode.
definitely, if you're into that, it's going to be a good one. So check it out. Always support KD Empire. Go down to the store. You get your 10%. As well as if you guys want
And
any,
he's got them deals.
yeah, those deals coming up. Don't forget 4th of July. And if you guys want any sort of nerd tattoo work, definitely come down, check Mike out. Also, you can get your.
Darren said he can do them too. He's never done one, but he can do them.
He'll do it. The producer himself will
Yeah,
do
they're
it.
not going to be good, but he'll do it.
Hey, he has a pretty awesome self tattoo on his leg. Also check out Pat. He's also, we love local businesses here in Reno, so check him out. One of the best barbers on the planet, in my opinion. I'm sure Pat will tell you that himself too. Darren says he's okay, but we don't give a shit what Darren says. All right, guys. So thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week.
Later.